What Gen Z workers really want. The oldest members of Gen Z are turning 26 this year. As this cohort enters the workforce, people leaders are asking themselves how to manage these newcomers. But those who expect them to be carbon copies of the millennial generation are in for a surprise. This youngest generation in the workforce is more racially and ethnically diverse than previous generations. They're on track to be the best educated generation yet, and they've arguably been more impacted by the pandemic than their older colleagues. So we are going to look at 7 differences between millennial workers, born 1980 to 1996, and Gen Z workers, born 1997 to 2002. 1. Expectations. Gen Z anticipates that work will be fulfilling with fun, inclusive, engaged leaders and peers, offering financial stability, advancement, and development. Work can be some of those things sometimes, but let's face it, there are boring projects, irritating people, and disappointments. Companies, coaches, and college career counselors need to help Gen Z establish reasonable expectations at the beginning of their careers. On the other hand, millennials' expectations are more modest and focused on free time. Their motto is YOLO, you only live once. However, as millennials advance into leadership positions, work fills up a larger portion of their lives. 2. Characteristics. Gen Z reflects a global and pragmatic view. They seek uniqueness and independence. Millennials tend to be more idealistic, team-oriented, conforming, and despite some global connections, less global in outlook than Gen Z, who identify globally as a cohort. Over time, millennials have proven to be highly resilient, overcoming setbacks from the 2008 financial crisis and COVID. 3. Addiction to devices. Gen Z spends more time on devices than millennials, with 40% of Gen Z admitting they are addicted. Anticipating the impact of less time for TV and more on devices, this could result in a massive shift in marketing strategies to reach this Gen Z. 4. Time alone. Millennials are team-oriented and collaborative. Although Gen Z has these same qualities, they covet their physical privacy and tend to be more independent. Workspaces have been configured for millennials with openness, accessibility, and spaces for spontaneous conversations. As a growing number of Gen Zs enter the workforce, private spaces will be needed too. 5. Remote work. Remote work has worked well for millennials with established families. Gen Z is trying hard to transition from college to work life, and the isolation of remote work has been devastating. This dichotomy could lead to a workforce where Gen Z is in the workplace and millennials and Gen X spend most of their time working remotely, leaving Gen Z without daily feedback, coaching and mentoring. 6. Loyalty. Gen Z is prone to be loyal and committed to a company, mainly when the circumstances are right. On the other hand, millennials have a reputation for moving from job to job. However, recent data supports that they are beginning to stabilize and are more apt to stay in one place longer. For millennials who are farther along in their careers, data reveals that some are moving to other jobs with less frequency. 7. Communication. Gen Z desires face-to-face communication while millennials are reliant on digital communication. People leaders who are used to the values of the millennial generation, who make up the majority of the workforce, need to adapt their management strategies when Gen Z joins their organization. Understanding an organization's people is crucial for any leader. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel for more things you will love to watch.